Alex Pereira just posted a video on his YouTube channel reacting to his loss to Cyril Gane on Sunday night at the UFC White House event, and it's not very good. We'll watch this clip courtesy of Home of Fight. I'll read the tweet first, then we'll watch the video, and then I'll show you the full video on his channel because, part of me thinks, was this something taken out of context? Was there a bad translation? No, these are real subtitles on the video, so the translation is accurate. I always give the benefit of the doubt when it comes to fighters that don't speak English. But we'll read the tweet here. It says, Alex Pereira claims that the jab that Cyril Gane dropped him with was lucky, highlights that Gane threw it with his eyes closed and dipping his head. But so the quote here is, but I would say it's a lucky jab, a lucky shot, because if you throw it closing your eyes and lowering your head, cool, the shot landed. That's where everything started. So we'll watch this whole thing here. If you guys want to get the Portuguese translation, you can here, but here's Pereira.
Aquela mão entrou, aquele jab, como eu falei, peso pesado, né, cara? Então, sou que é mais forte. Mas eu diria assim, jab de sorte ali, entendeu? Golpe de sorte, entendeu? Porque se você joga fechando o olho, abaixando, beleza. Pô, entrou a mão, foi ali onde começou tudo, né? Ele começou mesmo realmente se dar bem, né? Mas jab de sorte ali, depois ele veio, aproveitou, né? E começou a colocar os golpes mais fortes, né?
Okay, so he basically is implying like Cyril got lucky in this spot. Now I thought, you know what? I'll go check out the full video on his YouTube channel. And here's how it starts out. Let's watch this clip here too. Again, I like giving the benefit of the doubt, but this is Alex Pereira's channel. You can see here, full 14 minutes. And if you guys want to watch the full thing, obviously go and do that. But let's watch what it says right off the top here.
Eu acredito que se não fosse esses socos aí, dificilmente estaria naquela situação.
But I believe if it wasn't for that shot, and then this is where he goes into detail but I believe if it wasn't for the shots, I believe, and then he goes into detail about how it was kind of lucky here. So he's not doing himself any favors. I don't like this stuff. Isn't this what his fans accused Jamal Hill of doing when Jamal Hill lost? Remember the ref stoppage? Hill was talking about how things kind of got out of sorts with his game plan when the referee had to stop, to stop the fight. This is the exact same thing. And the Pereira fans aren't going to be saying anything bad about this. They're probably going to agree with him here. I just think this is such a bad look. Like, give Gane his credit. Even if you feel that way, you could say something along the lines of like, look, credit to him. He got a great shot here. He got me. And you know what? We'll make the adjustments. We'll come back stronger next time. I don't know why it's so hard for certain fighters to say this. You're going to win fans over more if you're going to take the humble route as opposed to taking the, well, he got lucky route. Because I think most people watching this didn't think that was lucky. What he talking about play a factor in the fight? 100%. But you can't just zone in on that and say, oh, that's the reason I lost the fight. That's basically what he's implying here. So I don't think this is a very good look for Alex Pereira. You look at the stats in this fight. Again, Gane outlanded him big time, 52-12 in significant strikes, even attempted 2 takedowns. Total strikes were 54-12. Significant strikes, again, 62% to 36. Control time was on Gane's favor. Like, you look at the blue, that's Cyril Gane. This was a beatdown of a fight. I could understand if this was a 30-second fight and, Gane had clipped him and Pereira falls to the canvas, kind of like Cormier and Stipe, their first fight, right? That ended pretty quickly. Even that I could understand, but still, you always want to give credit to the opponent. But this is kind of surprising from Pereira. Like, maybe I'm wrong here, guys, but like, I don't ever remember Pereira, although Pereira's only lost, one other time to Adesanya. And even that, like, he got caught in a fight. And if you go watch that sequence before Pereira was finished against Adesanya, like, Pereira was close to finishing that fight himself and knocking out Adesanya in that one. So this to me is like the first time that we've seen Pereira kind of come out and be a bit of a poor sport in this whole thing. And I think it's a bad look, especially when, like, we don't know what the future is going to be like at heavyweight for him. I think the better course of action would have been to say, look, I think this shot changed the fight. We'll make the adjustments and we'll fix it. I want to get back in there. I want to get a fight immediately or whenever I'm healed up and get back on the horse, so to speak, unless he wants to go to 205. But I have a feeling I don't think we're going to see Pereira go to 205. He cuts a lot of weight. He was 250 for this fight. Why make that a part of your camp when you could just fight at heavyweight? And he still needs to slim down from heavyweight as well, too. So I think, and again, I did a video on this yesterday. I think the fight you make right now is Pereira and Hokit. That's a no-brainer. 2 big names in the division. They may never fight because of Pereira's timeline with him being older and all that. Cash in on that now, right? I think that makes a ton of sense as far as that matchup. And that to me is a coin flip fight. Like, I don't know. I don't know how good Pereira is going to look at heavyweight because his debut is not very good. But is it a case of Gane being that good and Pereira not being that good? Or is Pereira good and Gane's just really good, right? Like, we don't know. Like, how would Pereira do against the rest of the heavyweights? I'm not sure. I would think he would do well. This is a 2-division champion, but I really don't know, to be honest. So yeah, lucky jab, lucky shot. Bad look here from Pereira. Now, let's compare this to someone else who lost on this card. Ilia Topuria releases his first statement after brutal UFC White House loss. You said you would leave your mark on my face, and you did. And he absolutely did that. Justin, congratulations. You said you leave a mark on my face, and you did. You took the sight from my right eye in the first round, at the end of the second from my left too. Imagine if Ilya had said this the way that Pereira said it in his fight. You took the sight from my right eye in the first round. It was a lucky shot. If that didn't happen, I would have won the fight. Imagine if he would have said that. He didn't. He gives him plenty of credits. No excuses. I had one of the best camps of my life. I came in sharp, prepared, and ready. Last night was your night. This is the nature of the game. Glory and pain walk side by side. This is about as perfect of a response as you can get here from Topuria. And this is why he has achieved what he has achieved in his career, because I think mentally he gets it in a lot of different ways. You know, I don't mind fighters being competitive and having an ego and all that. I think to a certain degree, to be successful, you have to be like that. But I will say that being a poor sport is not a good look here. I'll heal, I'll rest, I'll return stronger, wiser, and far more dangerous, Topuria said. And trust me, the story between us is far from over. We will have our rematch. Again, I don't mind saying that, like, you know, we're going to be back. We're going to do better. And yes, Topuria took more of a beating than Alex Pereira did. But honestly, both fights were similar in the sense that they were, you know, very much one-sided. So again, just wanted to show the difference here between the two. Even we had Steve Garcia come out and give a similar response. Here, Steve Garcia's statement after Diego Lopez lost. I'm going to zoom in on this. Sunday night didn't go as planned, but I'm blessed to be a part of UFC history. God is still king. I've fallen before, and I'm going to lose to someone. At least it was the class act of Diego Lopez. Well, he spelled Lopez wrong. No big deal. I'm not far off. I will be back. To all my haters, enjoy your celebration while you can. You can remember what happened the last time I lost. Thank you to my fans, sponsors, family, teammates, my management, Iridium. Love you all. God bless. Again, another good response here. They're not saying I got a lucky jab or anything along those lines. So yeah, I just, you know, and I'm really curious to see how the Pereira fans respond to this, because, you know, they are pretty vicious. I bring up time and time again when that whole Hill fight thing happened. You had Pereira fans like a year later still going after Jamal Hill. Like, why don't you treat your guy the same way here with him making excuses? It's the same thing. Let's see some of the comments here on this post. Nah, man, lucky or not, tail of the loss feels like no Shama. Since you're complaining, you got fat and slow, you got your ass beat. I mean, kind of funny from this guy saying this. God doesn't give you everything forever, accept the loss and move on. Of course, he's coping. The man is going out sorry. Bro is really a sore loser. John Jones right now, right? So you're seeing all that as well. I wonder if you can find another post of this. Sure, we'll get some more comments here. People talking about the loss. I explained to them about the illegal shots. I said the right thing. Okay, that I'm willing to listen to, because there were some questionable shots to the back of the head in that one. I understand that. So yeah, Pereira asked the UFC for an immediate rematch. That's not happening. Don't think they'll get that. What's the other one here with Pereira? I don't mind him talking about the shots to the back of the head. I think that's fair. But what I don't think, apparently he showed off the marks in the back of his head after the fight. This will only change the fighter's fight to remove the referee who makes these kind of mistakes. I agree with him here. I don't agree with him saying lucky shot, though. That's where he loses me a little bit. So anyways, yeah, Pereira coming across as a sore loser. Not a fan of that. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you surprised by this response by Pereira? What do you think? Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @Lynch on Sports. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.